Hey, good morning, everyone. Brian Hoops here, Midwest Market Solutions. This is our Market Insider TV opening commentary, Monday, August the 18th. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and are looking forward to not only today's trade activity, but a full week of trade. Weather forecast changing a little bit. That's putting a little pressure against some of our grain contracts, as it does look like this change in the forecast is going to be beneficial for the crops and crop development. We'll talk a lot more about that here in a second. I'll be doing RFD TV this entire week. I'll be on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, all at 8:15 Central Time, talking about the markets here. And we would, love to get your feedback. Hope you have a chance to tune in for that. We will try and send the links out once we receive them from RFD, and that way everyone stays up to date on what's going on in the markets and what we have on tap this week. So today, in fact, this entire week is pretty quiet as far as major reports go. On Friday, we have cattle on feed and cold storage. That'll be at 2 o'clock Central Time. The estimates are in your newsletter. We'll talk about those more tomorrow morning. U.S. dollar index a little bit firmer here overnight. Natural gas down slightly. Crude oil basically unchanged. Waiting for more announcements out of the Trump and Putin trade agreements, see if there is going to be more sanctions against Russian oil. Stock market down just slightly after solid gains last week, and corn ended 2.25 lower. Beans down 4, and the wheat is down 1 to about 3 cents in the night session. So let's get into the markets here. Talk about what we're expecting in today's trade activity. All right, let's take a look at news. All right, we're getting into our news and features here. Head back up a second, clean up the slides. Weather forecasts, as I mentioned, have turned cooler and wetter into the end of the month. 6-10 day has a normal to above normal precip and normal to below normal temperatures. That is going to be welcome to the trade. Certainly there's been a lot of moisture across Iowa this last month here. They'll get them by through any stretches of drier weather, and hopefully we'll get some more rain to finish out this crop. It looks like it's going to be a tremendous crop, and just as well finish it out with some big yields here at this point in time. Now, if you look at seasonals, and we try to look at those very closely, there's a real divergence happening over the last 5 years. The longer term seasonal patterns talk about lows maybe around September 1 or so. Last 5 years, that has changed. A lot of times lows are put in at this time of the year in the last 5 years. Now, that doesn't mean it'll happen this year. In fact, we could see a little bit more weakness maybe into Labor Day before we see some weakness, before we see a rally, just because of the big crops. But market's not holding in too bad given this wetter forecast that we're seeing. The annual Pro Farmer Crop Tour begins today and runs through August the 21st. That's Thursday, then Friday afternoon. They will announce the results of their tour after the markets have closed. NOPA Crush report came out on Friday. Saw July crush a new record for the month, 195.7 million bushels, well above last month's numbers and year-ago levels. Soybean oil stocks estimated at 1.379 billion pounds, right in line with estimates, but they're well down from last year and slightly lower than last month. So there's still 21-year lows on the same month comparison basis. That is pretty friendly and helped to rally bean oil on Friday. A little bit of meal selling against it. USDA, big announcement on Friday. This is what really moved the cattle markets Thursday and Friday. It was feared that the USDA would announce a reopening of the border, and that was not the case. They, in fact, announced they would be investing $750 million to build a sterile fly production facility in Texas to combat the resurgence of the New World screwworm. And that is what market sold off on Thursday, the uncertainty. And after it was discovered what they're actually going to be building and not opening the border, sent us sharply higher on Friday. At some point, they will open the border. No doubt about it. They are setting things up here so they can build this facility. It's going to take some time to build it, but once it's built and once the fly production facility is up and running, we will see that border open, but it could take years before this happens. Cash cattle trade last week in the north, it was active, 243 to 245 and 380 dressed, steady to firmer than the prior week. Southern trade saw trade early in the week at steady money at 237, but a little bit softer on Friday at 235. Looking at where August futures close, 236.25, we're now premium to the cash markets. Usually that's a little bearish, and it could signal that we're going to see some selling pressure into this cattle market. I don't think we'll see deliveries, but we're getting close where we could see deliveries here. And we haven't talked about that for a long, long time. Anytime you get premium to the cash markets, it's usually slightly negative. Cutout, however, sharply higher on Friday and higher to close the week. Second consecutive week of big moves in the cutouts. This is due to Labor Day demand. Now that demand will start to taper off here as they get their buying purchases done ahead of the holiday. Choice was up almost $15 last week. Select was up 13, and this is kind of the last surge of demand for the summer months. After that, we could go into the doldrums of fall and the winter months. So time to start looking at doing some protection. If you haven't already, it's time to look at doing something as far as options or straight hedges. Have a great day. Good luck. Hope to see you soon. This has been Brian Hoops from Midwest Markets. Talk to you soon.